Back bodice draft, figure 7. Okay, so the first step says A to F. So this point right here is A, and we're trying to put a little point for F. That is our back neck measurement plus 1/8 inch. So I already did the math for my size, and I have 3.5 inches. So I just need this little segment. What is this? Add point, split line, letter X tool. And I'm gonna put it 3.5 inches away from A, so you can kind of see I'm close to 3.5. But to get it exactly right, I right click. So we want to do 3.5. Okay, the next one is B to G. So down here is B, and G is gonna hit this little line that we have somewhere. And it needs to be our shoulder slope measurement, which is number 7 on our chart, plus 1/8 inch. So mine is 18 1/4 inch. So I'm gonna draw that. I'm gonna draw an internal line. So this guy right here is underneath our internal rectangle. If I click and drag, I can pop it out, or I could have just hit keyboard shortcut G. So I'll click once here, and now I want this line to be 18 1/4 inch. I can see right now it's 17 inches. Ooh, 18 1/4. So I'm kind of eyeballing it as best as I can. How about when I get here, I'll right click and I'll say 18.25. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit. I wonder if there's anything I can do to move it over. It might change the measurement though. Let's just give it a shot. Okay, is it still, how big are you if I did that? Click this segment. Yeah, you know, it is still 18 2/5 because the 6 at 5 and above would round up, so 18.25. Perfect. And it actually touches that line, so that's great. I can move on to the third little bullet point, which says F to H. So we just put a mark here for F, and H is going to go through this point and be a little bit longer, and that will be H. So in order to do that, we need our shoulder length plus 1/2 inch. So for me, it's 6 1/8. Now I'm reading the directions, and it says the line may pass G. So maybe it might not, the word may. So let's see what happens for us, okay? So I'm gonna get my line tool, keyboard shortcut G, click that guy, and I want it to be 6 1/8 inch. Right now, oh yeah, mine's definitely gonna pass through because if that was 5. So 6 1/8 is 125.125. I'm gonna right click right here, type in 6.125. Right, let's pull up our calculator, double check. 1/8 in decimal format. Yeah, 125. Look at that, I got it right. Okay, and I'll just hit return because I'm done drawing, and I went through the point, and it's the right measurement. Awesome. Now it wants us to square down from F to D. So square is a perfect 90-degree angle. So we'll use that perpendicular tool. Just to refresh our memories, this little point is F, and this line is D, so they want a perfect square. So I'll right click it, and we will say add perpendicular line, where it's actually going to be local. Yeah, yes, it'll be perpendicular off of this one. So I don't need to change my angle. I think I'm okay. It doesn't need to be all the way. It's supposed to just hit D. So I don't even know how many inches that is. Is it 2 inches? Nah, I mean, I don't think it really matters. Maybe I'll just say 1.5. It's okay if it goes over a little, right? Okay, cool. And look, they have a little squared line, so we know that's definitely a 90-degree angle, so it kind of matches our book. Our book puts a little squared line on the inside, but it doesn't matter. It's all the same. Okay, next bullet point. B to I is our dart placement. So B is this point right here, and we're just going to put another little segment to mark I where our dart placement goes. So I'll use my little segment tool. Letter X, going to X that line. And mine is, for my size, 3 and 13 over 16. Really? Okay. So in decimal format, what is 13 over 16? Apparently it is 8 1. I'm going to round that 2 up to a 3 because there's a 5, and CLO can only do 3 digits. Okay, so my dart placement based on my measurement is 3.813. I wrote that down. Okay, I got my tool. Here we go. I want to go 3 inches. I'm kind of visualizing it here. I'm pretty close, so I'm just going to right click. 3.813. Awesome. Okay. Next bullet point is B to J. So again, this is B and J is somewhere over here. To get that measurement, we took our waist arc, which is number 19, plus we added a dart intake of 1.5 inches. Then we decided to also add a 1/4 inch for some ease. Anyways, we did all of this measurements and all this work, and we got 9.5 inches. Okay, so I need a point that's 9.5 inches from this point. So what if I select this point instead of that other one? I don't know. And then get my little X guy. Oh, it's still measuring from that one. Darn it. That's kind of annoying. Oh, I know. What if I held shift? I'm like, I just don't want to do the math. Why is it making me do the math? Okay, let's see here. Yeah, it's still doing it. Oh, fine. So, how can I do that? What's like the easiest way? I mean, I guess I could just add whatever I was, B to I. I guess I could add 3.813, add that to 9.5, right? I guess that will help me. So here we are. 3.813 plus 9.5 equals, okay, so I need a little point. It's going to be letter J. It's going to be 13.313 away. Write that down, 13.313. Okay. Here I go. Oh no, that was totally wrong. What did I do? I was supposed to subtract, I think. Oops. Great demo. Okay, here we are. Let's try that one more time. So I know this point is actually 9.5, but I already have this point that is 3.8 points. So I should have subtracted, not added. That was my bad. I figured that one out really quick, luckily. Okay, so 9.5, that's the full measurement, but this little guy's in the way, minus 3.813. Okay, so the next little point is going to be 5.687 inches away from point I. We're trying to get J, and this is how far J is from I. I hope you're still following and this isn't too confusing. At least you can hit pause and rewind or fast forward, luckily. Okay, so 5.687. Okay, here we go. So about 5. And right click. Yeah, so this one I'm going to say 5.687. Okay, so I just want to let you guys know when we do this in the classroom, oftentimes I let students use their own measurements instead of the books. And I would say the measurements from the book are fairly hourglass. So pretty much their measurements they're using, the waist measurement is significantly smaller than the bust and the hip, where we've noticed real body measurements, at least from the students in our class, we aren't as drastically curvy as the book's measurements are. So we've had that issue where sometimes this point comes out further. And so what we do is, well, gosh, if your waist isn't super smaller than your bust, if you're more straight and not hourglassy, do you really need a huge dart intake? Because they kind of give you big dart intake. So we end up changing the dart intake. Instead of it being 1.5 inches, we might change it to only like 1/2 inch. So that's kind of our workaround. I don't know if you're having that issue, but I thought I'd share my wise old experience of doing things wrong. Yay. Okay. But anyways, I'm using the book, so she's curvy, so it worked. Okay, so the last step in figure 7 is I to K, which is our dart intake. A lot of people are like, what the heck, what's the dart intake? Well, it doesn't say, it's not on the chart. Well, it just said it in the last step. It said that the dart intake was 1.5 inches, unless you were using the parentheses, which was a junior petite size. Yeah. So, so for me, it was 1.5 inches, or maybe if you're using your actual measurements, you decided to change it to 1/2 inch, whatever. So for me, it's a dart. It's 1.5 inches, okay? So, and I pulled that from the instruction we just finished. So I have to, so this is I, and I just have to mark K, which is 1.5 inches. Okay, so let me make sure this is selected. What's going on here? U. Okay, I'm going to add my thing 1.5 inches away. Okay, right click, 1.5. And then they want me to split this right in the middle. So I guess I could right click. You can actually just say split by length. Uniform split, actually. There we go. So we don't really have to do the math. Math is 0.75. It's kind of easy. But if you just didn't feel like it, you have that option too. Just split it in half. Okay, cool. And that would be L. And that concludes figure number 7.